It took 50 years before people started looking at whether it was in fact doing what it said it was doing. And the answers kind of come back and say, well, not really. Now, that's not to say that a lot of good things are not happening, it isn't a black and white situation, so on and so forth. But if we are, in fact, serious about development and serious about using the word impact, impact means that you actually have to say that the thing happened because of the thing you did. So that requires some experimentation and some rigor. So let's not all run down the road with, you know, glossy brochures, because our investors actually are serious about the social impacts as well as the financial returns. So that's a whole new enterprise for us to get together on, and sadly, it's even more money than some of the things that you're already undertaking.
Positive Japan. Do you think reporting costs are really like stopping investors from going into sustainable investment?
For investors, it's not yet a problem because the amount is still very limited. But well, when we talk about the cost of reporting, it is very important as well in Japan. The normal mutual fund funds are also audited, and so the ESG factors or other impacts of these investments is really the problem, how you really measure these costs.
So, further questions? Yes, over here.
So my name is Manuel, I'm with Zurich Insurance Company. I think the point about impact measurement is a very important one, because to entice the investor, you want to show that impact, but it's very difficult methodologically to do, and certainly quite costly if you have to do field studies, etc. So I was wondering whether that's something, whether there's scope for cooperation with NGOs, with donor money, who can maybe help to do the work on the impact measurement on the studies, because clearly otherwise, you know, the competitiveness of the return is threatened.
I think the answer is yes, and I think we're all going to be in a world where there's going to be certain ideas that are going to get some traction. For example, one that, you know, we all know what a huge deal cell phones have been, and now some of the banking opportunities and transfer of money. That idea is going to get studied a lot quickly, and we don't need to study it in every place. You know, some things just sort of are so powerful and so important, and they're going to both attract investor interest, and they will attract research interest, and donors and foundations, I think, will step up to support that for you. So on the big trends, I think that will work. What will be harder will be the smaller things. And there, I think what we just need to do is, again, have a little bit more of a kind of collective view, which is that we watch them together. We watch the ones that seem successful. We hold off on doing the big, more expensive study. And, you know, yes, they're expensive, but they're getting cheaper and cheaper ways to do things. And they don't always have to be surveys. They can be with administrative data, and you can use some rigor. There's a lot of imaginative thinking about how to get that evidence. So the short answer is yes. You'll have partners in that.
Further questions? Yes, oh, we have the lady in the front.
Hi, I'm Amy Domini, and this is a little bit inside baseball for USAID. I'm personally involved with Landmine Clinic in Cambodia. USAID funded for 10 years. The funding's going away. And my sense is that there is a trend within the agency toward intermediaries. This was a one-on-one relationship and because it's a $700,000 a year budget, it's lost and falling between the cracks, and there will be no health care within something the size of the state of Connecticut as a result. So could you talk a little bit about the USAID trends? When I hear the conversation you're having, pulling people together, going, I don't know how those people avoid corruption. You know, they come in as an entity that's big enough for a corrupt government to say, give me my third. And you're not, and you're letting go of little grassroots things that are under the radar and able to do some good.
I think we're very worried about the problem of that organization that you mentioned that I don't know of, but that we've been supporting over a period of time. And now we're not going to be, apparently, according to what you're saying, supporting it going further. Because that's a real problem, right? How come we got ourselves in that situation? How come we spent that much time together working on this and didn't come up with a sustainable solution? Because there's not enough money in the world for us to not move to the next level, because there's many, many of those, right? And the sort of the donor mentality is we go in early, we take taxpayers' money, we go in early, we take that risk, but then we're always going to leave. And the days of, I don't know what our budget is going to be, these are not easy financial times in any part of the world. But let's say it's something like 20, 30 billion is the amount of money that the US government spends on development. Well, there's about $1 trillion being spent by private sector. We're just no longer the biggest game in town, so we have to prevent those situations. On the corruption side, I mean, corruption's always a problem, but I don't understand how you're seeing the kinds of things we're doing and reaching out would breed corruption. The bad news is that we are so rigid with respect to procurements that, in fact, our fear of corruption and having to report to Congress that a single penny was lost or given to the wrong person has actually slowed us down a lot. So we're working really hard at getting faster and engaging with a broader community. And so maybe we could talk afterwards about how you see that as leading us to corruption.
So we have time for one last question. Okay, then I want to thank you very much for your attention. I want to thank all panelists. That was a very interesting, very insightful discussion. Thank you very much and have a good conference.